Welcome in. Good morning. It's Monday. Good morning, Cynthia. Um, Everything Treasure, River Styx, and Swamp Rat Nation. Welcome to the show. Um, I didn't sleep very well last night, so I'm really droopy today. Um, and I've got a full plate here the next week. Copy, copy, copy. I didn't make any copy this morning because I I didn't get out of bed early enough to make coffee. Um, um, but let me give you the affirmation for this morning. My power, or my presence, is my power. Good morning, Plugs for Days. Good morning, Mark Lewis. Um, if you guys missed the show that Tommy put on Saturday night, you missed a big show. Man, I'll tell you what. Um, it was one for the books. Uh, Tommy did a fundraiser event for Cynthia for her trip down here to uh, Florida Hunt 8. Um, and raised a bunch of money. There were a bunch of giveaways. People were putting stuff up for auction, and people were putting stuff up to give away. There was a lot of silver. Um, uh, there was uh, there was a bunch of coin giveaways. I've never seen a duck race like these ones. Man, they were 60 or 70 people per duck race. When you got that many ducks on the screen, holy moly, it's a riot. Um, um, yeah, it was a really cool night. I don't normally stay up that late, and I did. I stayed up for the whole thing. Um, Swampy says he's been in the ER all night. Well, Donald, I hope you're okay, man. Um, we'll be saying a prayer for you this morning. Um, uh, yeah, Tommy's event was really phenomenal. Cynthia, um, what the heck is that? Cynthia was the recipient of. Um, oh, that's neat. The Was the recipient of a fundraiser for her and her daughter when they come down here to Florida for the Florida Hunt 8 event, so that they could have a little extra money uh, um, for the trip and the event. Um, Swamp. Oh, he says he was in there with his girlfriend, so his girlfriend was having a struggle. Man, I hope she's doing okay. Um, and yes, Um, Good morning, PA Relic Hunters. Um, yeah, the last race of the night was for a custom made knife, and I stayed awake through the whole thing, expecting I mostly just wanted to see who was there and who was winning those stupid duck races, and sure enough, my duck is always drowning somewhere. Um, and and the very last race there were 70 people there, and uh, and I won the knife. And so I contacted the guy that's making that, and I'm going to have it customized. That knife will be shipped to New York State, as I will be leaving here in just 6 weeks. 6 weeks. I can't believe it. 6 weeks, and I'll be on the road headed north. Tommy says there's an update on Digging It Back Charlie. He was with his father for the last weekend deer hunting trip and brought home 3 deer. Man, that's fantastic. That is fantastic. I'm happy to hear that. Yeah, FH8 is coming up quick. Just a couple weeks away. So, trying to go back through, see what I missed in the chat. Plugs, I'm sorry you weren't there. We were asking what happened to Plugs. You missed a fantastic event. I think they gave away 8 or 10 silver coins. They had auctions. Somebody came in and did an auction for a Pac-Man 40th anniversary silver token. There was another coin they auctioned too. I can't remember what it was. Was it the Queen Elizabeth II special silver round? Lots and lots of silver. 2 stacks of 10 coins in 2 duck races. That was from I can't think of his name. Stacked cans coins, painted cans coins. Who did that auction? I don't remember who did that auction. Spray Can. That's it. I knew there was a can in there. Spray Can Coins did that donation of the 10 coins per duck race. Florida Hunt 8 is the 18th, 19th, and 20th of February. So 2 weeks away. It's in Melrose, Florida. And it's to benefit it's to benefit the veterans at Soldiers Freedom out of Melrose, Florida. They did this last year up there at the Soldier Freedom, and they raised, what was it, Tommy, 30,000 or something like that. It was a major deal last year. They had a lot of people come in, and I think part of that was because of the 23,000 last year. And I think last year was so successful because it was the only event that went off with the COVID going on. So, sorry, excuse me. Yeah, they gave 10 metal detectors to the camp, and then they gave another 5 metal detectors away to the people who participated in it. So it was a wicked good event. If you're gonna be in Florida this year, you should go to Florida Hunt 8. For me, Florida Hunt 8 is more about Florida Hunt 8 is more about meeting meeting up with people and meeting new people and visiting with old friends. I probably won't do a lot of metal detecting. And it's a little bit dependent right now on what happens to my insurance. I'm having a problem with my insurance here. And yeah, I'm having some trouble here with my insurance, and I'm having some health issues, some additional health issues, and so last week was not a good week. I'm trying to remain as positive as I can, but it's a bit of a struggle right now. On the upside, it's not raining. Although I think tomorrow and Wednesday we're supposed to get some weather. And today I've got another doctor's appointment, and we'll see where that goes. I got out and did a little bit of metal detecting over the weekend. I didn't do too much, but I did a little bit, and I found 4 buttons. 4 2-hole buttons from the 1900s. Let me see if I can find my my container. I don't know what I did with my container. Now, as you see, I don't have my I don't have my table set up this morning because I'm going to be leaving directly from here this morning to head into another doctor's appointment. But I got 4 buttons yesterday, and that's real nice, Tom. You call me the old man? Well, you guys suck. Let me see here if I can dig out the button pictures. So that's one of the buttons that I found. And then right in the same area, I found a different style. Had a little coin spill. Let's see if I can get that one to open better. And this is the other button that I found. These are brass. They would have had they're rolled around on the back side, so they were kind of neat. I had a little coin spill. I put up a little video on the TikTok. And then again on Tommy's event, I donated this 1901 Indian head penny that I dug up this past summer up in New York State. That's going to be shipped out this morning to the lucky winner of the duck race. Yeah, man. So all in all, it was a fair weekend. It's been really comfortable here. The last couple of days, it's been cooler, and I think our temperatures are going to drop a little bit here coming up, but it's okay. I've added an electric blanket to the van um, to help me hold in some of that warmth that I need to have in the middle of the night. Um, as you remember last week, there were a couple of days there. I woke up and it was in the uh, low 40s inside of the van and in the uh, low 30s outside of the van. Um, hey, John, welcome to the show. John Long Silver Rails, as you all might know, is J Man's dad. He says in the early 60s, there were large tracts of wooded sandhills which which I used to wander looking for sandy lakes to fish. Deep in the woods, I found a forgotten graveyard from the Spanish American War veterans. Man, that's really cool. I love finding those old cemeteries. I remember when I was a kid, I was walking around um, uh, out in the woods in the Catskill Mountains and came across a small cemetery, a family cemetery. Um, it was way before my treasure hunting days. If it'd been in my treasure hunting days, I'd have been out there looking around the outside of that cemetery for something cool. But I found that cemetery to be. I remember it quite well. It's just a very small square cemetery with um, with like a little wire fence around it. Nothing fancy. But on the outside of the cemetery were additional stones that were just chicken scratched names into them. And I took a few pictures and was asking around about it. And so what I learned was that the slaves who had passed away on this particular family farm were buried outside of the family plot. Um, so there's a lot to think about when you think about the history of this country and the things that have happened here. Um, bye, Cynthia. Is Cynthia leaving? Who's is PA Relic 100? I think I missed something. I love buttons. Um, yeah. So uh, John, he's got some great history. He shares. I love the abilities he's had to get out there and do some exploring and seeing what has been left behind out there in the woods or um, I'm excited to be leaving and heading back north um, in the spring. Um, no, I agree with that, John. I think that it's bad juju to metal detect in a cemetery. Um, I will metal detect up to the entrance of the cemetery. Um, I will metal detect along the edges if it borders a property. For instance, the 1789 church also has the 1789 cemetery, and there's a rock wall between the cemetery and the bestial house. So I would metal detect up to the rock wall, but I would never metal detect inside of a cemetery. I think that's just bad karma. With all of the places that we have to swing a coil. Going into a cemetery, I think, is just um, unnecessary. Um, and so that's my opinion. Um, Dave is leaving. Well, goodbye, Dave. Um, yeah, it's really disrespectful. You're absolutely right, Cynthia. And in some states, when I was up in Arkansas, I came across a young man who was, in fact, metal detecting inside of a historical cemetery, and I stopped and I asked him what he was doing, and he said, "Oh, this is the best place to find silver coins." Um, and in the state of Arkansas, it's not illegal to metal detect inside a public cemetery. Um, uh, I expressed my opinion, and I went on my way. Um, it's just not for me. The there are some places that should remain sacred, and cemeteries, um, Indian burial grounds, um, tombs. Those are places that you just need to stay the heck out of. There's plenty of other places to go and metal detect without having to desecrate somebody's grave. Um, when I die, when I die, I want to be buried face down so the whole world can kiss my. Anyway, um, I, you know, we don't want somebody coming along digging up the treasures that our families have taken to the grave with them. Um, and so, yeah, no. Sorry about that. I don't know where that came from, Cynthia. Um, yeah. Um, I've been looking at the weather and thinking about um, if I leave now, uh, if I leave today, what will the weather be like in New York State? Will there be snow on the roads? And I'm sure that I can't leave just yet, but um, I really want to get back home, um, and maybe continue my treatment up there, um, around family and friends, and Major, the dog Major. My friends. I don't think so, Jim. I don't think the person will get out, but I think that I just think that it's bad juju. Um, so the dog, you guys remember the puppy that I was so fond of in New York? Well, let me show you some illustrations of the puppy here. There we go. So let's see. I don't have too many pictures left on my phone here, but um, this was Major shortly before I left New York State, um, to head back to Florida. And this is Major just this past weekend. Um, he's not a lap dog anymore. Um, and he's probably right around 90 to 100 pounds. Um, So I'm really interested to see. Um, I'm really interested to go up and see him and see if he remembers me and how he reacts to Dennis coming home. Um, that's my top inspiration for going back to Florida. Um, yeah, I need a bigger lap. That's right, Jim. Let's see. John has written something else here. Says my dad was an Indian motorcycle dealer in 1930s. Let me just say, I think I love the Indian motorcycle more than any other bike, more than the Harley or any of those. So I think that in itself is a cool statement. Um, they opened the overseas highway uh, to my mom, who rode with the Miami Motorcycle Club after the ribbon cutting ceremony. Led the parade on an Indian 4. Oh, that's really cool. That's really cool. I've always wanted to have. When I was a kid, I always wanted to have an Indian motorcycle, um, but uh, but I never got an Indian. Um, I had a I had a Harley when I was a kid. That was the pedal start 50cc Harley Davidson scooter. And I bought that in Massachusetts at a junkyard for like $50 and took it home to the garage and tinkered around on it and actually got that little bugger running and rode up and down the road on it for a couple of years. I really enjoyed it. And then I sold it, and now I wish I hadn't, because that was the best bike I ever had. Um, John says our golden retriever is very healthy, 11 or so years old. She is very smart. Her name is Lucy. And I'll tell you what, them Goldens are they're all smart dogs. They're all very well, except Max, um, and um, Mo Bailey, the other dog that was there over the summer. Mo Bailey was 10 or 11, and he developed a cancer, and he passed away this this last weekend. Um, Mo Bailey was a service animal um, for a therapist office, and um, so uh, so Major uh, was the replacement um, for Mo Bailey, and then Mo's brother Max. Max's full name is Max Don't Know Shit. And he's the dumbest dog ever, and the dumbest golden I've ever seen. He just lumbers around, and he's just dopey as dopey can be. Um, uh, that those Indians. I one of my favorite movies is uh, the world's fastest Indian. Where the guy comes over from England to ride the salt flats on his custom Indian motorcycle. Um, uh, just a phenomenal bike. Um, Yeah, the overseas highway is the highway to Key West. That's right. Um, I was on that um, several years ago on my Suzuki 650, and that was a nice ride down. Um, um, I wondered where all the leather came from, and you're probably right. It probably developed with the veterans after the Korean War. Um, and that's really cool. I I I think it would be awesome to have an Indian motorcycle strapped on the front of my van, um, but I think it would probably be too heavy. Um, and So maybe a in tow, but as you all know, I can't drive with a trailer because I would probably have a wreck. So um, uh, at any rate, we're at 32 minutes, and I need to get ready to go to my next doctor's appointment. Um, our affirmation for today is my presence is my power. I want to thank you all for coming in this morning and having a visit with me. Um, Sorry I'm not as chipper as I normally am. So you got a lot going on here. Um, a lot going on over the next few days. Um, and so I will be back here on Wednesday at 9 a.m. Um, for another edition of Coffee with Cancer. I hope to see you all there. I thank you for coming in, and uh, I thank John for the stories about the Indian motorcycles, and thank Tommy for the event that he held over the weekend uh, to raise money for Cynthia Swearingen for her trip down here to um, FH8. Um, it's gonna be a lot of fun up there, and we're gonna have a good time. And it would be nice to to see and say hi um, to some of those people that I haven't seen in a year or so. So thanks for coming by, and I'll see you all on Wednesday. And hopefully, I'll have an update from last. Um, my last test, and I'll be able to let you know where things are at for me. All right, y'all. Be good. I'll see you soon. Thanks, everybody. Bye.